So I thought I was talking to you guys, but I was only talking to, I guess, Instagram and TikTok. I guess the stream got cut short. So I wanted to make sure that I was able to hop back on and talk about what I was talking about before, and really finishing the explanation about getting a vehicle in your business name, answer some questions that you guys have. Hold on, let me make sure I have my chat up. And talk about with returning my leased vehicle to Mercedes and the benefits from that. Hold on, let me make sure I'm live. Okay, awesome. So like I said, my video got cut short, my last video, so if you want to go watch the beginning, give me like a thumbs up or something. You can hear me, just so I know that you guys can hear me on this live stream. Let me know. I want to make sure that the connection's good. Am I frozen? Okay, cool. David on YouTube says I'm good. Awesome. Perfect. Yeah, I want to make sure because I think, am I frozen on here? Sorry, y'all, my connection has just been like not with it today. Let me make sure you guys can hear me on Facebook. Okay, looks like I'm good. Wanted to talk about oh, I'm not good on Facebook. Let me make sure. Okay. Awesome, so I'm good. Sorry, my phone was freezing, so I couldn't tell if y'all can hear me or see me. But I wanted to talk about the process that I did go through when it comes to getting a vehicle in your business name. And I posted a video recently on my pages talking about how I gave the Mercedes that we had. We returned that back to Mercedes, and they basically wrote a check. And people were confused as to where does the money go, how did the process work, and things like that, okay? And so one thing that you want to keep in mind when, say you have a vehicle that you're financing or that you're leasing right now, whether it's in your personal name or in your business name, and you're wanting to see if the dealership will take it back without there being any penalties, or just see if you can make a little bit of money off of it. The number one thing I tell people to do is to make sure, okay, that you take your car to go get an appraisal, but don't tell them that you're looking to get rid of the car, okay? Because if you tell them that you're looking to get rid of it, of course they're going to try to fast talk you, and they're probably not going to be super transparent when it comes to the numbers. Okay, so go get an appraisal first, so that once you are ready to say, hey, I think I want to get rid of the vehicle or see what we can do, you'll have solid numbers to go based off of, okay? So we got the appraisal first from the dealership, and then we told them, hey, would you guys be willing to take the car? Would you be willing to buy the car? Now keep in mind that we did this back in January of this year, okay? So this was January 2022. Now the car market has definitely shifted. Whether this can apply right now, like exactly, I'm not sure. So you would literally have to go and see what the value of your car is. Another factor to keep in mind is that we did have, the car was in really good condition, okay? So it wasn't a vehicle that we drove a lot, so it did have decent miles. We got this car back in 2019. It had like 16,000 miles on it or something like that. Maybe 15,000 and some change, but 16,000 miles. Inside, outside was perfect, so nothing wrong with the car, okay? So, and there's, as you guys know, the microchip shortage and just the shortage of used vehicles, so the market was crazy back in January. And so we took it, got it appraised. They told us how much the car was worth. We told them, we asked them, hey, what kind of deal would you be willing to work out if we were to give you the car? And so basically what they did is they bought out the lease. I've had a lot of people commenting on my video saying, oh, you can't sell something that you don't own and yada, yada, yada. You can literally take any vehicle that you have leased and go to any dealership, and if say you want to go get a new car, if they want to get that deal done, they will literally cut to whoever you were leasing through in order to pay off that remaining amount to get that deal done. That's possible, okay? So yes, they did pay out the remainder of what was owed. I think we owed I think it was $12,000 left on the lease agreement. I could be wrong. Like I said, this was back in January, but I think it was about $12,000 that was left. They went ahead and paid that. So that came out of that $33,000, and any other fees and any other cost that it would have taken us for us to actually go and purchase a car outright ourselves. They went ahead and just paid that and took the car. And so how it looks is when you turn your car in like that and they buy it out, it just looks like you actually purchased the vehicle. Okay, so it's not like a ding on your personal credit or business credit or anything like that. It's not a ding for your relationship, okay, with the dealership or with the financing company. One thing that a lot of people don't realize is that you have to build up a strong relationship with these companies, or you should build up a strong relationship with these companies. This can help you down the road, especially if you are someone who is looking to get higher caliber vehicles, or if you are someone who wants to get vehicles every few years, or you're wanting to get more under your business name. You have to take that into consideration, that in the beginning it's going to be a little bit more difficult because there is no relationship there, right? So if there is no relationship there, they're going to ask for probably more down payment. I don't know what's up with my connection today. I think I'm good on YouTube. Okay, perfect. I think I froze here for a second. But you want to take into consideration the relationship that you're building. So a lot of people were asking about, on my video, I said, hey, we were paying like $700 for the Mercedes. And people were like, oh, we'll never pay that. It's so high, whatever. Okay, you have to keep in mind, first, number one, there wasn't a lot of payment history to go based off of. So that played a factor. So no matter what, even if you have an amazing credit score or business credit score, if you don't have any history of going through the process of getting a car and paying for that car, on-time payments, that's going to play a factor into that, right? And so they also told us that if we had gotten it in our personal name, the payments would have been way cheaper, but we decided to go the route of doing it in our business name. So we kind of took the hit to pay a little bit more of a monthly payment in order to build that relationship under our business name, which in the long run has paid off. But another thing that you want to make sure that you're considering is, hey, is my business able to actually pay for this car on a monthly basis, whether it's going to be financing or leasing, okay? You have to make sure that the car is reasonable to your business, okay? I wouldn't necessarily go and try to get a G-Wagon, lease a G-Wagon under your business name, right? There's probably not a way to really justify that. So you want to make sure that your business is making enough money. Now, in the beginning, if you do have to pay a little bit more to build up that relationship, in my opinion, that was worth it for us, but that you have to decide if that's going to be worth it for you. Another thing to consider, if you are someone who is trying to get into the luxury vehicle game, or to be able to buy, finance, or lease higher caliber cars or vehicles, you have to remember that they're going to be looking at what types of vehicles have you leased or you financed before. Cars that are like $30,000 to $40,000, the chance of them jumping up to like a $90,000 car with no down payment is very slim. So when you're watching these people online talking about how they, financed their G-Wagon or bought a G-Wagon with no down payment and things like that, you want to consider that, okay? And understand that when you are dealing with these banks and with these dealerships, like, the bank is not going to cover the full amount. They're going to cover up to a percentage, and that is going to be based off of, first, what they're willing to do to get the deal done, and number two, what your history and your profile looks like, okay? So as you work your way up the tiers, so say, your first car was $30,000. Maybe you bump up to, maybe they're willing to finance that $60,000, and then in a few years you're able to bump up to that 80 or 90. But going from 30 straight to over $100,000 with no type of down payment, no matter what your credit looks like, is going to be very unlikely, okay? And you can go talk to any dealership, any bank, anybody with experience in financing, and they will literally tell you this. It's very unlikely, even if you have an 850 credit score, perfect credit score, okay? if you have no experience with financing or leasing something at that amount, the bank is going to be risky for them to cover that entire thing. Okay, so you can't always believe everything that's being posted online, which is why it's super important for you to do research and do due diligence. Okay, and a lot of these things, or sometimes you won't know them until you actually go through the process, which is why I try to share as much information as I can, because I have gone through the process 4 times now. Information with you guys, because I did get a ton of questions when I posted the video about the Mercedes and us getting rid of it at the beginning of this year. So I did another video right before this, before my stream got cut off, so you guys can always go back and watch that part as well. But yeah, I'm not gonna hold you guys super long. If you're on my YouTube channel, make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe button. If you're on Facebook, hit that follow button. I'm going to save these so you can come back and watch the replay. Share this video if you know someone who probably needs this information, which is everybody. But like I said, tons of questions. Another thing that I get lots of questions about is leasing versus financing, right? And which one should you do? And honestly, that really is going to depend on your own financial situation, and it's also going to depend on what you plan on doing with the vehicle. Okay. For example, with the Mercedes, we leased that car. We leased that car because, one, I knew that I wasn't going to want to keep that car for a very long time. Okay, it was just a regular C-Class type to purchase, because we knew that we were going to be making changes and modifications to the car. We also know that that car is going to hold its value a little bit better than some of these other vehicles. So you have to think about that, like, what type of car am I getting? And is it going to hold its value, or is it something that I should just lease to use for the time being and upgrade to a new one? So that's also something that you want to keep in mind. Now, when you are leasing, sometimes the payments can be a little bit cheaper versus financing, okay? But everyone's situation is different. Everyone's financial situation and credit and financials and things like that's going to be different, but there's a chance for that. The tax benefits are going to vary and be different a little bit as well. That's why on my business credit masterclass, I made sure I had a CPA come in and talk about how it works on the tax side when it comes to getting vehicles under your business name. Another thing that you want to consider is that your insurance will be higher, okay? When you are doing commercial insurance versus just regular insurance, it will be higher, but that's kind of just a cost that comes with doing this. So you have to weigh the pros and the cons, right? So for me, I thought paying a little bit more on a monthly note and paying more on your insurance, the benefits outweighed that for not only tax purposes, but because I wanted to start building up that relationship between my business and these dealerships, right, and these banks. So those are just a few things that you do want to keep in mind. But there's also nothing wrong with getting it in your personal name. A lot of people also don't realize that you could lease it out to your business. So say, say you're a YouTuber and, twice a week you make videos with your car. You can rent that out to your business, rent your car out to your business, have your business pay you, okay, to use that car in the videos, right? So that's also another thing that you can think about, especially if you're someone with a newer business and you don't really have any business revenue, but you're making money personally and you can pay for it personally. That's another thing that you can always do. And of course, when you are paying yourself and you want to have it be legitimate and have like actual agreement, like a lease agreement, those payments can be considered as business expenses as well, right? Because you're using that for that allotted amount of time for your YouTube channel or for your content or whatever it is that you're doing for your business with this car. Okay, so there's so many different things that you can do and ways that you can spin it in order to make it work for you. But everyone's financial situation is going to be different, okay? But that's just my experiences. Within my business vehicle masterclass, I not only have a CPA come in, but also a car salesman who's been in the game for a while, and he breaks this all down as well. But you really have to decide on what's going to be best for you, whether it's leasing or financing. But a lot of people are so against leasing, and mostly because they don't really understand what it means to lease a vehicle or how that even works. Okay, A lot of people are against it, but if you go and look at the statistics, a very small percentage of people actually keep their car for more than like 4 to 5 years, right? So if you're going to lease a vehicle, you know that you're probably going to get a new car anyways. That's another thing that you want to consider. Are you somebody who loves to have the newest model every time every few years, right? That's something else that you have to think about. Or is this a car that you know that's going to hold its value? Or is it a car that you know that you're going to be making some changes to it, some modifications to it? If it is, then that's probably something that maybe you want to keep for longer than those few years, and maybe you should finance it. But either way, it can definitely be beneficial to your business if it is done right. Okay. Appreciate you all for tuning in, and I just want to hop on and clarify a few of those things because I had a ton of questions after I posted that video. But yeah, that's all that I'm gonna have for you guys tonight. Make sure you hit that follow. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss any more content. Definitely going to be going live a lot more and dropping some game for you guys and value and teaching about different things. And so yeah, so make sure you guys are tuning in. All right guys, so I will catch you guys on the next video. Thank you so much, and make sure leave any questions below, and I'll try to get some videos out.